that was the whole idea, to show each other the brightest side of our cultures and just really to be focused on one another's cultures rather than politics. So we've been working on this project for 1 year and some months. I'm the organizer and one of the artists of this project. There are 11 artists in Iran, and we have 9 artists here in the United States. And this is our second show in Chicago. The first show was in March 2009 at the Anakin Gallery, and the second show is here.
I was a graduate student at DU, and I met Maura Sheen at DU, who's the leader of this project and organized everything. And Maura Sheen and I were friends, and I was actually too busy to participate in the first show, but I just graduated with my MFA, and when I finished school, Maura Sheen asked if I wanted to be in this show. So I came in the project a little bit late, but I'm really excited to be part of it.
I was fortunate enough to go to Iran this summer, which was an amazing experience. We wanted to have the show in Iran, but unfortunately, due to the situation over there, many art projects were canceled, and Iris happened to be one of them.
You start relating instead of countries as people, you know, and you go, these are people. This isn't, you know, politics, all that aside, you know, we can understand people as humans, you know. So we were able to kind of bridge that gap with art, and that definitely inspired us to start following what's going on in Iran, definitely. And part of this whole show was to help kind of create that, and just in this example, not specifically just to Iran, but globally, how can people connect through alternative ways other than TV or other media? You know, how can we do it on our own terms and say, here's who I am, who are you?
The whole show has essentially a theme of dialogue, right? So we have this idea that we want to get beyond the cultural borders and really get into the idea of talking to each other beyond politicians, right? We want to cut politics out of the equation, and we just want to talk to each other as people, right? My work with Moeen was to build a digital sculpture that the audience would interact with, and they had to touch the sculpture to then get the full artwork out of the sculpture. So this is extending the dialogue into the audience member from our collaboration. I did the electronics and the sound, and Moeen did the sculpture and the video. So there are 4 components to our work. I did 2, he did 2. It was a 50-50 project, and it was all about extending the dialogue out into the audience.
The story by Attar, an epic poem about this journey of these birds, a famous Persian story where the birds go through 7 stages of this journey searching for enlightenment and purpose, and eventually the leader of the birds shows the birds that really all they have to do is look within themselves to find their purpose and enlightenment. And so when I was looking at her work and thinking about this story, I thought about a poem and an American poet that was really influential to me growing up, and I think to a lot of Americans, and that's William Stafford. And I thought about this poem, Reminders, by him, that is about finding enlightenment and purpose by looking around us, by looking at our neighbors and ourselves and nature. And so my work, I created a video and a text piece. It's kind of a sculptural piece. I call it a video music box, where I am incorporating some lines of this poem and music by it's music composed by one of my favorite composers, Jan Tiersen, and then I actually play accordion with him, and both the music and the poetry is, to me personally, it kind of gets at the same idea as the poem that Sahar was commenting on in her work.
سری کارهای هنری انجام بدیم و بتونیم توی 2 تا کشور یک سری نمایشگاهی رو برپا کنیم. که مراشین دوستمون بودش که توی آمریکا بود و نگین هم دوستی بودش که توی ایران، دوست مشترک ما و مراشین. توی آمریکا یک سری جلسات تشکیل شد، توی ایران هم ما یک سری جلسات تشکیل دادیم و قرار شد که یک نمایشگاه تشکیل بدیم به اسم گفتگو. بعد از این شروع کردیم که اصلا یه حد و مرزی واسه این نمایشگاه تعیین بکنیم که توی چه مایه‌هایی کار بکنیم، در چه حدی باشه و تعداد کارها، که نتیجه شد همین نمایشگاهی که می‌بینید.
We don't necessarily want to center on urban metropolises. I think it's more important to go to smaller towns and cities where maybe more stereotypes exist about relationships between the United States and the Near East, or different groups in the Middle East, including the Persians. I think it's interesting to me to challenge people's stereotypes in America. It's also interesting to me to challenge people's stereotypes in Iran.
راستش رو بخواید خب داستان شهرزاد که داستان خیلی معروفیه. داستانی بودش که یکی از، اگه اشتباه نکنم، از خلفای عباسی بودن که حالا نمیدونم، باز اینوشو دقیق نمیدونم، ولی پادشاهی بودش که طوری بودش که هر شب یه دختری رو میکشت انگار و حالت روانی داشت، تا اینکه یه روز نوبت قره به نام شهرزاد میفته. شهرزاد موقعی که میاد پیش این پادشاه شروع میکنه داستانی رو واسش گفتن، همون داستان 1001 شبی که میگن برمیگرده به شهرزاد. هر شب شروع میکنه یک داستانی رو گفتن و این داستان 1001 شب طول میکشه. طوری بوده که هر شب در جای حساس این داستان رو قطع میکرده و پادشاه واسه اینکه قسمت بعدی داستان رو بفهمه واسه همین اینو باز نمیکشه، میگفته ولی من فردا شب تو رو میکشم. باز دوباره داستان رو تعریف میکرده تا جای حساس قطع میکرده و بالاخره 1001 شب طول میکشه و پادشاه عاشق شهرزاد میشه و با هم عروسی. طوری بودش که شهرزاد به نوعی میشه گفت نجات دهنده بقیه دخترها شد، دخترایی که هر شب به دست این پادشاه کشته میشدن و شهرزاد شاید به نوعی مقدس شد در افسانه های ما. شهرزادی هم که من حالا درست کردم، ما اعتقاداتی که داریم اینه که اسمش الان یادم نیست، ولی این پارچه‌ای که می‌ریم مثلا می‌بندیم واسه این که به دخیل بستن، همون دخیل بستن و حالا ما توی مذهب در داخل مذهبمون شد دخیل می‌بندیم واسه این که بخوام به اون آرزومون برسیم. این چیزی که تو شهرزاد من هم هست یه همچین حالتی داره، یعنی شهرزادیه که مردم بهش دخیل بستن واسه این که به نیت و آرزوهاشون برسن. پر پارچه است، دستش، تنش اینا و گره خورده. من خواستم شاید بگم میشه گفت شهرزاد قدیم در زمانی که مثلا در اینا حالا مسلمون اومده بودن مسلمون رو بگیرن و تبدیل به مسلمون بشه و بعد از اون که حالا ایران اسلام وارد میشه و به مذهبش داخل بستن، چون می‌خواستم این دوتا رو با هم به نوعی ترکیب